Well, welcome everyone to the first game, and welcome to the Dark Future. Our scene opens up in Night City, a gleaming megalopolis on the corner on the coast of California between San Francisco and Los Angeles, or better yet, what's left of San Francisco and Los Angeles, considering sustained heavy damage during the corporate wars and the conflicts previous to this moment. Inside the city limits of Night City, it's a shining metropolis full of lights and technology and flying cars, surrounded by a wasteland of ecological and military disaster areas. There is no government. Corporations control everything. They basically do deals with criminal gangs and organizations, pretty much criminal gangs, the mafia, whatever, to enforce their will upon the parts of the city that they don't have direct control over. There's vast sections of Night City that are literally because no one bothers to take care of whatever happens inside there. Little islands of corporate suburban utopias, which are heavily fortified and patrolled with corporate security forces. With that being said, we open up on the edge of Night City, where the gleaming towers start to rise up from the ramshackles and leftover minutia, and we see pull up, and out comes a young woman. Maridine, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, Meridine, at the moment, she is 24 years old, and she come from northern Canada, where she had traveled from time to time selling scrap from the combat zone, where she basically grew up. And she got lucky than most people from the combat zone that one day she found someone that was willing to teach her what made her future in some way. Like she learned to use a mechanic, repair stuff, and she got used to do that stuff, and she has a burning passion for it. And that's all that I can say at the moment.
All right. So as the trucks rolls up, you're sitting in the front with the driver. He's a nomad from an affiliated clan
Hmm.
who, through your connections, you managed to get a ride from the combat zone out here in exchange for fixing his truck.
Huh.
So he's like, "All right, sweetie, this is about as far as I'm going."
All
So
right.
there you go. There's Night City.
It's
He looks like in the
colorful.
back. There's a couple of family members in the back of the truck, and goes, "Hey, Rob, why don't you help the girl with her cart and everything?" Some
Mhm.
minor member of his family, grumble as he takes your cart full of equipment off the back of the truck, and he goes, "Thank you a lot, man. You really make this car. It's really purring now. I could probably ride another 10,000 miles on this thing."
Well, just try to not do anything stupid or blow up the engine again.
Well, the only time I ever do that is when I'm chased. So hopefully not.
Well,
If
let's
you're
hope
ever
it never happen again.
Yeah, so if you're ever down by the southern border of Mexico, look us up. You always have a place in my truck.
Sure. If I come that way, yeah.
All right, and with that, he waves you off, does a U-turn, drives right back out. The brand spanking new in Night City. Fairly ramshackle street. There's a few homeless people lying around, a couple of street urchins. You see a couple of other people walking by. Most of them are in pretty drab and dreary, like a slummy part of town. And so, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna call Kitty.
All right. Well, because of the nature of Night City, you have to actually sign up to a Night City cell phone plan, which you don't have right now. So while you have a cell phone, you can't make a phone call. But you spy right down on the corner information kiosk, which also doubles as a communication.
Oh, I guess I'm going to go walk towards information kiosk.
All right, so as you walk up to this thing, you notice that because due to the shabby nature of the town, this thing's seen better days, little dent, all kinds of stickers and graffiti on it. Strangely enough, though, the screen is perfectly clear because it's made of some special coating that pretty much prevents anything from staying on it. You can literally just wipe it off. It's basically how they keep the graffiti off the screens in the future. The rest of the material, the rest of the housing doesn't get that privilege. So it's over the years, it's just layered with graffiti and nonsense. But every so often, you can tell at least one guy comes by and wipes off the screen so you can use it. You see Night City information kiosk.
So I'm looking to get for a cell phone service or to.
All right, so you have two options. You look up cell phone services. There is a myriad of different corporate companies that offer different cell phone services, so you can sign up right away if you have the proper credits. Or like I said, you can just pay the credits and use the kiosk to make the phone call.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
any
that.
one of them to act like a carrier, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pay at the kiosk to make a phone call.
All right. So you pull up. There's a little AI operator voice that actually has like one of those like 1940s style. If you ever seen those like telephone operators who used to do the plugs back and forth. She actually has one of those outfits on, but it's all totally digitized. And she goes, "How may I direct your call?"
Yeah, I want to call Kitty.
Okay. Please insert any relevant contact information in the receptacle below, and you see like there's a little slot down below where you could put in like a data chip or something. You have a data chip with contacts that you could just plug in.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Right? And you see her literally like she's looking up and down, and she goes, "One moment, connecting." And so a couple seconds go by, and with that, we'll switch the scene. Apartment on the edge of a corporate controlled zone. Not too shabby, but not exactly corporate living either. And in there, we see an individual hunched over. And so.
Hunching. Yeah. Was I raised in a barn? No, my back is straight. Thank you.
All right, whatever. However you want to be sitting. I'm just saying you're hunched over your cyber deck working.
Yeah. Probably just like on a little Spartan futon, just cyber deck sitting in my lap. And then of course I get a ringing in my ear.
Yeah, all of a sudden while you're simultaneously listening to music and coding whatever you're coding, you get an alert from your AI assistant saying there's a phone call waiting for you. And
all right. She doesn't even need to move or blink or anything. She just does it purely in her head with her phone chip. Ooh, fancy.
So you realize from the caller ID that it's someone that you haven't spoken to in quite a while.
Oh, good. I don't have to give the company spiel to this one. Oof. I was worried. All right, so I'll go ahead and pick up.
All right, so the line connects. Maridine, you hear the phone pick up on the other end.
Hello.
Maridine, right?
Yeah.
How long has it been? Like 10, 12 years, I think?
Maybe. I don't remember.
I don't know. Maybe my parents weren't even in jail around that time. So, what can I do for you? What's the occasion?
Oh, well, I just arrived at Night City, and I kind of need a place to. I need a roof over my head.
Sweetie, you didn't plan anything at all, did you?
Not really.
Oh, she's a nomad. She comes from a nomad family. They don't plan.
Oh, exactly. So she'll just sigh and go, it's okay. Do you know which street block you're on? Maybe you could take a cab over to my apartment or, just walk over. Afraid I don't have much I could pick you up in.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for to see where on which street I am.
Hold up, I got your ID here. Let me just go ahead and pull up a map. Could I perhaps use systems knowledge or just my knowledge of the city itself to understand?
We're gonna say this is like second half. You can easily navigate the caller ID function and figure out where her physical location is. She's calling from a kiosk out on the edge of Night City.
Mhm. Ooh, wow, you're in the boonies, huh?
Well, that's where my what's the word my well the one that drive me here was
Oh, I
about to
don't
go.
blame him for not going any further. Isn't that a combat zone you're next to? Or were you planning on going around that?
Uh,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, you forgot to plan, that's right. I'm not sure if I know anyone I can send to get you, but I could send a cab your way.
sure. Well, you're the one that know how the city works, so
Yep. So I'll go ahead and send for a cab, give them the instructions, and maybe even pay for it.
All right.
sure.
So a few keystrokes later, you call up the equivalent of Uber Lyft in the dark future, and you request a moderately armored vehicle.
Oh, is that required to get from A to B here?
Yeah, well, you do
Yes.
have it does have to drive through a combat zone, so there's a higher
I gotta
risk.
get a safe inner city here.
Yeah. And so yeah. So as you're sitting there wondering what Meredith's doing at Night City, and what her to grace you with their presence, you get another notification through your AI assistant.
Ding ding. Oh, what's this one?
Like a random social contact, someone that you frequent on chat rooms in your hacker on your work sphere. So it's all anonymous. So all you know him as Red Slicer.
Alright, is it just a message, or is it like incoming call or something?
It's
What's the
like
equivalent?
a private voice, like a video chat, like virtual
Alright,
video chat.
I'll pull it up. And of course, I got my cyber deck, so like whatever my cyber avatar is, like pops up on their side, like Kitty or something, like a
You have
cat
an
or something.
avatar when you're in hacker space. You obviously keep yourself anonymous, and sure enough, what you see up there, what you see up in front of you, is basically like a combination of Darth Maul from the Star Wars prequel, but instead of having those horns, he has sort of like the pinhead spikes on the top of his head. It's all
Right, dark and edgy as possible.
like bright red. Um, and so he's just like, "How you doing?"
Oh, avoiding work.
I hear that, man. Hey, listen, I know we had that random conversation the other day, and so I was doing some poking around, and I think I found that thing you were talking about the other day. That place.
Wait, the sex shop? That's real?
Oh, not the sex shop, the other place, the club.
Oh, right, the club. Right, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, it's the darndest thing though. It's like kind of there, but it's kind of not there. It's kind of like someone erased some of the records, so like it doesn't show up on like municipal databases, and you can't like navigate to it.
What, like they
But
just rubbed out the name, or like the whole block's not there?
yeah, it's like a big empty black hole where it used to be. And like I said, I mean, this was your thing. I just happened to be stumbling around through some random archives, and I happened to find it. It goes, oh yeah, I remember this. So I just figure I shoot this your way.
Hey, that's a good find, though. Thanks a lot. But the next thing you're gonna tell me is like this is the middle of the crap part of the city, where everyone's shooting everyone, right?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I looked up the physical address on the map, and it's not in a great. It's actually dead smack in one of the urban combat zones. Um, but that's all I got. I mean, all I got is a grid coordinate, and when I look it up on the map, it looks like every other abandoned building in the region. So unless you go down there physically, I'm not going to be able. You're not going to be able to get any more information. I can't even get drone footage of it.
Well, maybe the next time I rent a tank, maybe I'll head down in that direction.
No, it's just strange. It's like the drones avoid it.
Maybe they got like a EM shield or something. That could be worth
I
checking
don't know, man.
out.
It's crazy. The only time I've ever seen something like this is it's either some sort of corporate black site or some sort of spec op military installation or something like that. But it doesn't make any sense. It's like in the middle of nowhere.
Spec Ops Black Site, middle of the city, disguised as a club, and you can't get any footage of it. This
Yeah,
just gets a little weirder and weirder with every sentence.
I know, man.
Now
And
I
like I
gotta
said,
check it out.
so yeah, I know you were always talking about it when we were chatting. So I just figured like here you go. And so you see like a little data package symbol icon show up that you can access. It basically allows you to download whatever information that he's retrieved from it.
Right, receive packet, open it up, it's the map and such.
Okay, so yeah, basically what you get is a couple of news articles. You get you get a map of the grid coordinate that he pulled up, and yeah, you get a couple of copies of some municipal and archive records where the grid coordinate should represent is blank. So that's all he's got.
Well, I guess I owe you one for now.
Oh, well, I owe you one for the other thing, so that's why I thought of you. So here you go.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll call it even.
Check you later. I'm in the middle of something.
Alright. And just snap the call.
Yeah, he winks out. And so, if you want to, you could review the data right now, or you could just set it aside.
Well, I got a few minutes before Meredith happens to arrive. Let's go ahead and check it out.
All right. So basically, what you got is a couple of newspaper clippings. One of them is sort of like an announcement, sort of like a billboard advertisement. Premiering the opening night for the last Oasis nightclub. Actually, you find out it's actually a resort casino. 3 stories of entertainments that your heart desires, fully cyberdized and AI'd up with digital servers and waitresses there to cater to your every whim. Seems to be set on a sort of like a Middle Eastern kind of like Lawrence of Arabia-esque type of setting, hence the term Lost Oasis. In fact, you see on the picture of the billboard, the entire facade of the building has been sort of re-engineered and it has these big neon palm trees basically painted on the outside of the building. Garish sign that literally says Last Oasis Club.
Well, this is about as excessive as they could possibly be.
Right, and so the next clipping you see is the announcement that the proprietor, it's a newspaper article talking about that the owner of the Last Oasis Club pretty much went bankrupt because lo and behold, big spoiler alert, nobody cared about it. So he announces that the club's going bankrupt and it's being sold to liquidators. And the third article you read references a toxic waste disaster. Basically, the premises of the former last, which was in the process of being renovated and resold to another corporate entity. And yeah, there was apparently some sort of ecological accident, some sort of toxic material was released into the area, and the entire site was designated as a quarantine zone.
I guess I could explain the cover-up, but where does a restaurant get toxic chemicals from?
Now, the thing that's really strange is that is the most recent news article that is referenced in the file.
Mm-hmm.
That article is like, so for the next, so that's pretty much it. And then the municipal records show that the last registered entry was 15 years ago, where mysteriously everything got erased.
I see.
As far as you know, it doesn't receive power, doesn't receive water, doesn't receive sanitation. You can see a copy of the quarantine order, but when you look it up in the database, it's not there.
So someone's in on this and still cares.
So yeah,
interesting.
And then in the final part, you basically see like a Google Street View map view of the area with the grid coordinates. And yeah, you know how you see like sometimes on Google Maps, there's some parts of the map that are really, really detailed. You can stream into like car view, and then literally like right in the grid next over, it's like super pixelated because the resolution is like so out that there's no details anymore.
Yep.
The entire area that it pretty much corresponds with the grid coordinates. That whole area just looks like that. You can't tell anything going on.
Like Area 51.
Yeah. Yeah, if this wasn't in the middle of Night City, you would swear this was like an Area 51 type of deal.
Bunch of secrets, nothing that you can see, maybe even have to require putting boots on the ground.
Yeah, he's right. As far as you can tell, unless you really want to go into a deep hack to try to figure out what went down, easiest thing is to just go down there and see what the hell's there.
Incredibly true, but this couch is really comfy
Your impression
right now.
of this entire scenario is that due to the exact nature of where it is, they're pretty sure that most people would never bother to go down there and figure out why this information's missing.
Naturally. All right. So instead of rushing straight out of my apartment or something, I'm obviously gonna wait for Meredith to arrive and settle in.
All right. So with that, we will wait for that for a moment, and we will get to the other Ricky. You are currently out on the streets. You're in a corner right now. So why don't you introduce yourself?
So, leaning against a telephone pole, good old information kiosk. There's this. He looks too young to be in the middle of a place that's a little bit rougher than normal, but obviously he's there on a purpose. There's too much determination in his eye for him to be wandering. He's got scruffy hair and he's wearing biker leathers, and you can almost see the bulge of something on the side of his jacket. And he's waiting. He knows something's about to go down. He's got the intuition of a dealer, a fixer, if you will. He's gonna steal something.
And so yeah, you're in a pretty rough neighborhood. This is basically where all the low level fixers hang out, trying to get their deals, trying to get their information. And sure enough, your instincts are right. Because rolling around the corner, you recognize a vehicle. It's a good friend of yours. You haven't seen him in a couple of years, actually. You recognize him as soon as he rolls down the window. And he goes, "Ricky, how's it going, man?"
It's been going, apparently. My gut, as always, right again. How may I help?
So your friend's name is Joe.
All right.
And so he goes, "Hey, man, why don't you come inside, take a ride with me?"
It's $20 if you want me to look prettier. I'm sorry, I don't have my makeup on me, so I might be able to wink at you a few times.
Oh, come on, man. I can get better looking for $5 down the road. Get your
Yeah, but you know that they're nasty. And he'll chuckle with him and hop on in.
Oh man, always the jokester you. So the door closes. You see he actually has a driver. He's sitting in the back seat now, which is usually a sign that you made it when someone's driving you around. Car looks real nice. Very top of the line, brand new. And you can tell he's upgraded his wardrobe since you last seen him.
So, Joe, obviously you're not going to come to this part of the neighborhood in a car like this with your own chauffeur if you're just, about to shoot the breeze with me. What's up?
No, man, you're right. Listen, man, I know I owed you from last time, long time ago. You really helped me out in that bind last time. Got that. Listen, man, I did it. I made it. This fucking place is crazy. You wouldn't believe the kind of stuff goes on in this place. Nobody knows about it. It's insane. Got you an invite.
What place are we talking about here?
Dude, check this out. There's this place. It's called the Lost Oasis Club. freaking nowhere. Nobody knows about it. It's like a secret invite only club. Dude, downstairs, just normal dive nightclub. Regular people, nothing. Go up to the second floor, it's all merc work, man. Basically, fixers, operators, they set up ops, they do deals. Whole second and third floor is dedicated to nothing but jobs, man. Ridiculous. Yo, man, I got an invite up there, man. First job I did, hit the pay dirt. So he's like, what do you think you see all this here for?
Okay, but the real question is, you brought me here to go to the second floor, right? You're not just gonna schmooze and brag about it?
Come on, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got you an invite. Yo, listen. I'm in the middle of a job right now. So my misfortune is your opportunity. So my new boss, he needs a favor. Let's just say he can't get involved directly and he wants to use some out of the book talent. And he left it on my table to take care of. So first person I thought of was you.
I'm honored.
So yeah, is Razor. And he'll be waiting for you. I already put you on the guest list. So, yeah,
Is that with an E or an O? I don't know.
Oh, Razor.
Gotcha. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad that
so, for real, man, for real, these guys, they're no joke.
I don't think they put someone like you in a car like this for just the giggles. Thank you for this.
So yeah, man, like I said, if you play your cards right, you and I might be sitting on the same table in the same boardroom. Get what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand completely.
All right. So yeah, he's gonna be down there tonight. And oh yeah, that's right. Give me the thing. And you see the driver in the front reach down into the glove box, and he basically gives you basically like a data chip. And yeah, you're gonna need this. This is basically your VIP card. Yes,
all right.
That'll verify you. And like I said, hit a man out. You could do the job. You're in.
Well, I always do a job, so I will be either riding high with you or in a gutter somewhere. I'll be seeing you, Joe.
That's the way it is. So all right, you realize at this point that he basically just ran around the block.
This
Man,
is just
I love this.
waiting.
He's like, yo, man, I'd love to hang out and party with you a little bit, but I actually gotta go, and because I got something I need to set up right now. So yeah, like I said, don't sleep on that, man. You need to take care of that right away.
All right. He'll hop out of the car and start heading back to his place to check out the data chip.
All right, so we're gonna say for the sake of expediency, you can just plug it into your cell phone and it operates like a data reader, pretty much. And yeah, it's just actually, it just looks like the last Oasis Club's VIP voucher we've seen in a dozen other casinos and clubs. And yeah, it just says you have one VIP entrance.
Does it give an address to it?
It gives you a set of coordinates,
All
which
right,
is actually
cool.
kind of unusual because normally you're right. It wouldn't normally give you an address, but in this one, no, it just gives you grid coordinates.
I like the challenge. He'll plug him into his phone as a kind of a guidance system, and he'll start heading there.
All right. So we switch back. You hear a doorbell ring.
Me?
You, Ricky. Your doorbell's ringing.
All right, I'll be popping up and checking through the camera to see who it is.
It's Meridine. You see a pink and purple hair-dude up chick.
Okay, I'm wondering why she came here. She gave me no information about this. Okay, I'll open the door slowly. The bolt is still on it, so it's just a kind of a crack. Meridine, you'll see well, you know the face, but he has a shaved slit in his eyebrow now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not you, Ricky. Kitty.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, like, huh,
Yeah,
that's a surprise.
Characters around. I'm sorry. Kitty.
No, it's okay.
It'll take it. It takes some time. Yeah.
The last Oasis.
So, Kitty will go to the door, take a look out through the eye hole real quick, spot Meredith, and just like open the door and swing for a hug.
Yeah, well,
There you are.
Yeah, well, Mary, when Kitty opened the door, Mary then is just going to give her a big hug.
Nobody shot at the vehicle on your way over, did they?
I didn't hear so I guess no.
That's good. They're sound insulated. It's supposed to be that way.
Hmm.
Oh, you got so many bags. Here, let me go ahead and take them in.
Well, there's just a big duffel bag where my tools and thing are. So.
Alright, let's go ahead and find you a place. And she'll step in, and the first thing you see of the apartment is that it is nearly barren, as if nobody actually moved in, save for like a futon, a coffee table, and there might be a bed in another room.
That's a nice place.
Oh yeah, I like to keep it nice and clean.
To be honest, as long as I have a roof above my head,
She'll like put her hand to her chin for a moment as if like seriously considering like where you should like put your stuff, and then she'll like point to like one of the corners and just like set the duffel bag over there, nice and neat up against the wall. It's like, there we go, perfect.
So, what you're up to?
Well, I've mostly been on break. Company doesn't always have to track hours, but I do have to pretend to do a few hours of work every day. So it's mostly been chatting online, really.
And with who?
What was that last sentence?
With who?
Oh, just a few friends, and she'll like put some air quotes up. It's nothing to worry about.
Sure. So, what do we normally do in Night City?
Well, on some nights I like to go nice and crazy and actually order out. And on other nights, I like to stay in, like over here on the futon. And that's just about it. Welcome to Night City.
Yeah, well, I heard that. One of my contact in some way talk about the club. I guess if I remember right. Like,
oh yeah, there's like lots of clubs in town.
Yeah, no, but a club that I tried to search myself, but I couldn't find it. Like, it's like a
Like a lost Oasis?
Kinda, I guess.
Ha! Knew it. Oh, here, you gotta take a look at this. And she'll stand like stock still for a second, and then realize, wait a second, that's right, I'm sorry, you don't have like a cyberdeck interface. Alright, so I'll just have to tell you. So one of my friends, and she pulls out like the air quotes again, started telling me about this place that can't actually be seen from any records or drones or anything. And you say one of your friends told you about it.
Yeah, well, one of the Nomad Rider.
Yeah, what do they know about it? Now, come here, take a seat.
Well, to be honest, they don't really talk a lot about this. Just that one of my friends told me that that I could find some work there.
And you know exactly what kind of work they're offering, don't you?
Nope.
Well,
Just
it's
work.
definitely underground work.
Oh.
There's no doubt about that. But, my wallet is kind of empty. You're in town and, you don't technically have any work here already, and, well, I'm sure someone could always use another programmer. Maybe we could, do something. Something exciting.
What do you propose?
Well, we could get a job. And she just, like, smiles a little bit.
And where did we get the job?
At the Oasis.
Like I said, I don't know where is it. I just know that it exists.
Well,
And
wouldn't you know it, I happen to know the exact black hole it disappeared into.
really,
Yep, got it all right here. And she'll stand like stock still for another second and go, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting, I'm so sorry.
I
I'm so
guess
used to
that.
dealing with coworkers, you know?
No, I don't.
Ah, you'll catch up with the times eventually.
I hope so. So,
So this is the point where Kitty will either bore you to death talking about her work, or you suggest we actually go out and do something.
well, Meriden will be happy to listen to, well, what Kitty been doing since, well, last time.
Oh yeah, and she'll weave and yarn. It's like, oh yeah, and then I fell into a couple of relationships. They didn't last the whole week, and oh, and then this guy dropped by. I hadn't seen him in ages, and otherwise it's just been work, 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 and then more work for other people.
Are you doing this while you're heading towards the grid coordinate?
I think
That depends if Meredith thinks it's a good idea and wants to do it.
Well, it's Kitty that know where is it, so
Well, you only have to push her to do it.
I'm not a pushy type.
Well, there's so much in Night City to do. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do today?
I don't know. Maybe I guess we just have to lost Oasis. It's kind of idea at the moment.
Well, adventure it is then.
Do I need to get my gun?
I'm gonna go ahead and check like the neighborhood that's in. That's definitely combat zone, you said, right?
It's in an urban combat zone.
Yeah, gun and a Kevlar t-shirt if you got one.
Well, I have it on me.
Maybe don't
Well,
carry any
no.
cash either.
I just have the chip. Well, yeah, Meridine is going to go to her duffel bag and she's going to pick her gun and what would she pick to? Oh yeah, she would take a med kit, and tech scanner, and her tech toolkit.
Of all things, I probably want to leave my hyper-expensive and easily stealable cyber modem at home for this one. Especially if it's just a club, quote-unquote. So yeah, it seems like Kitty and Meredith are gonna go on an adventure into terrible gang territory. It'll be just like old times.
For Meriden, it's just the usual.
Before Kitty leaves, of course, like she goes over to like a small shelf and pulls like a small kitty plush off the mantle and puts it into her pocket, so it's like halfway out. There we go. I'm ready.
And all right, and with that, you guys set off. All right, open up back to Ricky. And
I'm gonna.
Ricky, after a couple of cab rides, since you have to go, this was actually kind of a weird place to go to, so you had to actually jump through a couple of different transportation. And now you're in the heart of an urban combat zone. So while you're in the car, you're fine because it's armored and it's got automated defense systems. So that the minute you get out the car, you might have to keep your eyes double peeled for anybody trying to come at you. And as you're driving through the street, you're kind of like looking around, going, "Where the hell am I?" Because it looks like like Mogadishu. There's not a single building, as far as you can tell, that has not sustained some sort of damage or neglect. You easily see RPG damage on some of the faces of the buildings. All kinds of just burnt and wrecked machinery everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're just wondering, like, not even crack houses would be down here. This is literally where the gangs come to fight wars.
That's going to be a bit of a tricky scenario to get through. But that's why two people call me Tricky Rick.
Driving around a corner, like a couple of blocks down, you literally see like two opening fire on each other, and the rat-tat-tat of automatic weapons fire off in the distance. And but yeah, after a couple of minutes of seeing all of this wasteland, you round another corner. It's the damnedest thing you've ever seen, because right dab smack in the middle of all of this destruction, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like blocked on all four sides by these taller buildings, so you can't really see it until you've run up right up to it. Damnedest thing, there is a fully lit up, neon up, just standing there in the middle of this combat zone.
It's going to be like a silent curse word under his breath as he looks out to see it. He'll pay the fee that he needs to from his chip, put it back in a breast pocket to keep it safe, and as he gets out, he'll make sure to have his holster unclipped.
So yeah, as you get out the car, you obviously take a quick glance around because you know where you are, and then as you look up on the side of some of the buildings, you start noticing that there's automated defense turrets almost on every floor of every building that's circling this nightclub.
Can I tell what level of security that they're at?
Well, the more you see it, the more you see layer in defense.
Gotcha.
Layer. Like the reason why this nightclub is apparently almost pristine is literally because there is a ring of defenses around it.
Yeah, there's not a single person that's going to be able to throw a rock at the neon.
However, even that being said, you look at the building, and while the building has not sustained any damage, the facade has not been maintained for at least 10 years. So while the neon's still going, you can kind of see every once in a while, like one of the neons flicker, kind of like someone needs to replace a light bulb kind of.
I think that gives it character.
Yeah, and sure enough, as you're staring at it, you see on the top it says Last Oasis Club, and the little curl on the A flickers out off and on, and for a minute or two, it says Lost Oasis Club. And
yeah.
So yeah, as you approach, you see there's a main entrance. There's a couple of bouncers, security guards, fully cyberdized, cyber weaponed up. There's a small crowd of people, 5 or 6 people waiting to get in. And as soon as that car leaves, you see a couple minutes, a couple of other cars show up, and some people get up and walk out. You actually see that there's a second entrance. On that one, there is no line. People just get out of their cars and walk right in through the doors and disappear into the building.
That's the one I'm going to be going to.
All right, so you walk up. You see a guy in a 3-piece all-black suit style, and he kind of steps in front of the doorway, and he goes,
I'll hand him both a chip that I was given from Joe and also my business card. It's actual laminated paper. It's not even a data chip or nothing.
All right, so he takes the paper, he goes, old school, and he stuffs it in his pocket, and plugs it into the back of his neck. You see him look around for a couple of seconds, pulls the chip out, gives it to you. He goes, right this way. Take the elevator, 2nd floor.
Thank you kindly. Have a nice night.
And so he turns around, waiting for the next guy. And as you walk in, you open up to, it is a normal nightclub. You see, you hear loud music in the background. You hear the strobes. You see everything. You see waitresses running back and forth. Kind of weird how crowded it is, considering where you are. So it's just kind of strange. But sure enough, within a couple of minutes, you see that the typical patron at this bar is literally probably consists of most of the people who are doing combat outside. So you see a bunch of crazy biker gangs, a few other crazy gang members, see a couple of people in fine fashion clothes. It's a dive club. Buddy. And so yeah, you see a sign that says elevators, and it's right next to the doors.
He's gonna head in, try to press the button, see how quickly. He'll count down how fast the elevator gets to him.
All right, so actually, wait here. I'll give you. So yeah, this is the first floor. This is the entrance that you came in on. These are the elevators that I'm referring to. Can everyone see that on the map?
Yep, I can.
Yep.
So yeah, you walk in, you get into the elevator. There's a receptacle for the chip.
Same deal. We'll put the chip in, press the button for the second floor.
Right. So close. The noise instantly goes silent. Up to the second floor, right here. So as you exit the elevator around here, you come out to the grand foyer. There is a terrace, and you can see the club below you, but apparently there must be some sort of optical audio shielding device, because you can't hear any of it. You can see the lights, but you can't hear any of the noise coming from upstairs. There's a decidedly different group of people. Everyone here tends to be either really high fashioned or they look players and operators. And yeah, in the grand foyer, next to the terrace, you see basically a desk, like almost like a hotel resort kind of front counter. And there's a couple people standing there.
So I was extremely smart and remembered to ask Joe what a guy looked like. So obviously I have no clue what I'm trying to look for. I'll go to the desk. I was a bit
Yeah, these guys are all, for some strange reason. This is the other part that's really weird because it's kind of surreal, because they're dressed up like Laurence of Olivier from like that, like a Bedouin, with the turban and the white thing, and it's just so surreal with the outfits, and then you're seeing like guys in heavy leather armor and business suits walking by, and so he goes, "How can I help you?"
Yes, I was referred to by a old friend. I'm looking for a man named Razor with an O.
Please put your chip in the receptacle, please. And he points to front of you, and you see a little receptacle there.
Alrighty. Ricky will do so. He's basically had it in his hand now, seeing as he's going to have to use it a lot.
And so yeah, you punch it in. You see the person look around. You don't see a screen. And he goes, actually expecting you. If you go over to, he points a direction, and he basically points you to this area.
All right, to 3 of the promenade.
And so he goes, is there anything else I can assist you with?
Yeah, is there like a bar here, or is it just go as you
all
come?
All services are complimentary.
Hell yes. Thank you for that. Have a nice day. And then he'll turn and start headed towards where he was pointed out.
All right, so you walk through the grand foyer, which, as you probably can surmise, is for you could tell this was a casino. Someone converted a casino into something else. So it's still got like the cheesy carpet and the walls and the decor, and someone is doing like the bare minimum to keep everything clean. But once again, you just get this thing of like, yeah, but like the wallpaper's fading, so like repaint everything. kind of vibe to everything, but nobody seems to care. Everyone's going back and forth doing whatever they're doing. You walk through the promenade and you enter into the main area. What you see is basically separate rooms that are compartmentalized. And basically each room has basically like a VIP private room area. So as you walk into room 3, you see a guy standing next to the door, and he's got some heavy shades on. He's got a pale white black shirt and basically like a light blue tie. Back, and as soon as you walk in the door, he looks at you, and then you see another guy, big monstrous dude, basically block your way and goes,
What did he say?
"Who are you?"
I'm Ricky. I was referred. Do you need the chip, or should I just say the guy's name that I'm supposed to see?
Yeah, who sent you here?
Joe.
Oh, let me see the chip.
I'll yeah, I'll hand him the chip.
He's a chip. He actually has his input on his wrist, so he plugs it in. He looks at it. He goes, "Ah, okay, yeah, you. We're waiting for you." He points behind him, and you see a guy standing in the corner on the main. Basically, you see like a wraparound couch with a big coffee table in the middle of it, and you see him sitting there. He goes, "There's the man. You go talk to him."
All right, thank you. He'll head on through.
And then as soon as you walk away, you literally see him just switch back, and he like taps the back of his ear, and he's just like, for Rich. And yeah, as you walk off, you walk into the main room. You see a bunch of you see actually several dozen people lounging around. See a couple people on some terminals. You see a couple of other people making phone calls. A couple of very attractive women walking back and forth. And yeah, you see Razor. Razor is sitting in the corner, just as badass and boss as you can imagine someone in that position to be. He wears a leather jacket and basically a black turtleneck, some nice dress slacks, and some cowboy boots.
Oh, perfect. The pinnacle of fashion.
And so he's basically lounging with both arms and sitting next to him. We weren't sure for a minute if it was a mannequin or a person, but in closer inspection, it's probably one of the most exquisitely sculpted human beings you've ever seen in your entire life. You're almost not sure if it's a real human being or not. And she's just sitting there still with these dead eyes, just staring out.
Blink, motherfucker.
He made me watch.
And basically, he's standing there with his arm like behind her, like the cool boyfriend kind of like you got your arm behind.
Yeah. He made a yawn at the beginning of the day.
Right, and so he he's sitting there. There's a couple other guys sitting there drinking with him, and he's like joking around, talking about. So yeah, listen, like I said, get that shipment done. Be careful with those Chinese guys, man. They'll slit your throat if you don't pay attention to what they're doing. And then as soon as you finish the line, he looks up at you and he goes, "Oh, who are you?"
I was sent by Joe. The name's Ricky Mongoose, if you would keep it professional.
Mongoose.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, Joe, he told me about you. Yeah, Joe, that's a good guy, Joe.
Glad you agree with me on that.
Said you guys grew up together?
Yeah. It wasn't like a buddy, but we did have a lot of business together. We made sure that we had favors back and forth, and we always filled them.
Okay, he's looking at you up and down. He's appraising you like the duds.
Thank you. You've got a nice style as well.
Thank you. All right, have a seat.
Thank you. Is there like one across from him? Just a normal chair, or is it all just like in a row?
Oh, there's literally like a wraparound, wraparound couch. And then
I gotcha. Yeah.
So you can just there's one that actually the only spot to open is next to the doll chick.
That's great. I'm gonna make sure that my optic, zoom eye is just all the way back, not zoomed in close.
And so yeah, she and as you sit down, and that's the only time you've seen her react, and she just turns around and looks at you with these dead eyes, and she just goes
Fucking creepy.
like that with like a very mild hello.
Howdy, pleasure to meet you.
Doesn't respond. She just looks back, and Ramon's sitting there chuckling. Interact with her, go, hey, you like my? Let me introduce you to my girlfriend. This is Renee, and he sweeps his hand, head to down. He goes. Renee's not much for words, but she's got her uses. As he says that, he leans over and he just very carefully caresses the side of her ear. And this is the only time you see her physically react, and you see her start quivering.
Oh man.
Holding
God.
back everything.
Is there is it a reflex check to stop myself from gagging?
Hmm.
Do you want to do that?
No, I was just asking, out of character.
And so, yeah, he goes. So anyway, he goes. So enough about my personal life. Let me tell you why I got you here today. See, I got a little bit of a problem. I owe a favor to these guys from a long time ago, and day, and he asked me to take care of him. I would go down there with my boys, and we take care of business. Let's just say I can't seem to be helping these people directly.
All right, I understand. It's happened a few times with me as well.
So that he take care of it, that he knew some guys that were discreet but professional to get the job done, could solve my little problem for me. It's not a big problem. It's a little problem.
Well, I'm more than happy if you give me a little bit more detail. I would be more than happy to accept.
Absolutely. So, let's just say there's an opening in my organization for an enterprising young man who's willing to move up the ranks. Consider this your interview. Guys chuckle.
I forgot my tie.
And so we're work casual. He laughs. We're work casual here.
Oh, thank God.
He goes, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the starting setup. Cruise. I'll float your credit.
You broke up after float your credit. I didn't know if you said anything else or that was just it.
I'll float your credit so you can get set up. You're going to have to hire a crew. You take care of the thing. And this is what I normally do for my new guys, because I know you're always looking for money. This is what I like to do. So I don't usually pay people for the first job. But what I normally do is I pay you salvage. So however many bodies you leave behind, you just let me know. I got a couple of people who are really interested in, let's just say, use cybernetics and leftover equipment.
Good old recycling.
And if you do the job right, I'll give you a cut of it. So that should give you plenty of motivation to do whatever it takes to get the job done. A pretty decent payday for the first time job you get. You can, if you want, you can ask around here. I take care of my people.
I think I wouldn't have to ask. You seem the capable type. I'd be more than happy to help work with you.
All right. So this is how it works. The thing downstairs is just a front. Most of those guys down there are operators, techs, solos, net runners. Waiting. It's a bulletin board. It's like a job market. You put a posting, everybody, you recruit. It's over to the other side. Right next door over here is what we like to call the mall. And that's where you can go get geared up, and they'll deliver the equipment anywhere you want. Good to go. The chip will give. He goes. The chip will give you credit.
Alrighty.
So he leans back. He snaps his finger. A woman magically appears with 2 drinks in her hands. She gives one to Razor, and she gives one to you, and she goes, "So, toast to
Toast.
new beginnings."
And hopefully long-running ones as well.
Absolutely.
Really quickly, can I try to tell what drink this is, or is it something that's just been made up?
Oh, if you look at it carefully, at a glance, you could tell this is probably one of the most expensive alcohols out there.
Okay.